We are just about ready to get through. Anonymo won the knife. They picked the CT side, and now we get things kicked off here on Nuke.
Plenty of nades on the T side. Body. The smoke alone. Plenty of players grouping up towards the hut position. I'm not entirely sure what this smoke is, Scriv. It's not a lineup I think I've seen before. So this could be all the more exciting. It comes over right now. It lands in towards Mini. That's a very, very innovative smoke. And now the flashes are raining in. They're exploding out of hut. Anonymo, they've chosen, we're not going to fight this, guys. We're going to give the bomb site. We're going to fall back. See, actually, look at the minimap, Scriv. They think it's B for the moment. This player's going down. So Anonymo caught a little bit off guard. And a very unusual 5-on-5 retake is set to follow.
Sometimes that's all it takes. A smoke that you've never seen just really throws you into disarray. At least in terms of the trajectory of it. One fight's here. Whoa, for the T side. All coming at once. It was the first one going the way of Innocent. Now just Rallen all of a sudden. Got 4 to find. He's found one. He's found a second. But that will be all she wrote for that round. And Double Pony showing some of the prowess on this map. And although it is subtle, although it is a little thing. And yes, this lineup very cool. And like I say, trajectory-wise, it comes out. You don't quite know what they're going to do with it, because if it is something you've not seen very often, it can throw you off a little bit. But the fact that they're like, oh, it could be B, guys, let's go and have a look at that, does again speak to this common issue that we have touched on a few times throughout the series.
I mean, that was definitely A. In my opinion, that was definitely A. They see the flashes, they see the Molotov, they hear all the noise. Yeah, if they had gone low and got the plant, I mean, what can you do in that scenario? But yeah, for me, committing 2 players lower with little information, maybe not the best look. Look at the damage, though, early on. Double Pony. They're trying to get a bit of control in towards outer, but they're going to have to cede that, losing so many HP points and body and exercise. Jocko's tagged up as well. Afro's on 32 HP, and we talk about this all the time, but after the tags start to come in, these Deagles and Scouts become so much more potent. And Snacks, oh, he slipped the net. Oh, how's he not found a frag there? What a bizarre start to the round, but it still feels like if these Deagles or Scouts can connect, could really turn on a knife edge here.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of potential. A gasket ready to blow. And Double Pony, they're clearly aware of that fact. Not going to mess about. The team damage off the back of the nade helps these Deagles out even more. But they stick around, you know, stand still for a bit and then just go for the overall execute. Scout does manage to take out Jocko, but not before he found the rotating player. And the A-bomb site itself is completely open here. Exercise a good find onto Innocent. So, looking good. A little bit retrieved by Kylar. I think Snatchy, of course, a lot of this damage is unconfirmed, so you kind of look at it in terms of a full-on 4 versus 2. No low HP bars in the mind of Anonymo, and therefore they will hold on to what they have moving forwards. Double Pony going to find 2. Some dicier moments in this one. Not quite as ingenious as the pistol, not quite as simple as the pistol, but still looking good.
Fairly clean stuff overall for Double Pony, of course. Looks a little bit scary after taking so much damage, and to be honest, I'm pretty stunned that Snacks didn't get away with at least 1 or 2 kills there, considering how great he was on the timing. Nevertheless, Galil saved over. Scout in play for Snatchy. A couple Deagles as well, so it's not a given round for Double Pony, but of course we often talk about it. T-side of Nuke, by far the tougher side. Certainly in this series, this looks like a pretty CT-sided series as well for good measure. So if Double Pony can convert this, keep a few numbers alive, it could do wonders for their half. Exploding out his body, he's quickly traded. There's a few more players in attendance, still alive on top of hut. That's easy player, but the trade's coming in the end. So good economic damage for Anonymo. They have kept that money very honest. But even so, 3 rounds, we're looking pretty good at Double Pony on the tougher side of Nuke.
So far, so good. Things falling into place pretty well. It looked like this at the beginning of Inferno, though, and Anonymo very quickly battled back and actually wrestled control for quite a few rounds. Bit of early nade damage. Once again, as to be expected from Nuke, it can be a bit of a rinse and repeat beginning to most of these rounds. That looks to be the case here into round number 4. Anonymo not doing anything too crazy. We've got a player at Secret that could catch somebody off guard. Maybe. But for the time being, nobody's died. And with the way Inferno started, there seemed to be early kills in the first 10, 15 seconds. Here, we're almost a minute gone, and nobody's died as yet.
Mini smoke coming out from Double Pony. Morley on towards that credit card area. Try and work some out of control. Rallen. He's a player tasked with locking down Outer by the look of it. He's just behind that blue crate right now. Kylar flashing over. Allows Rallen to peek. He doesn't spot anyone. Afro has made it down. Snatchy. CT Orper. Posted up on the left-hand side in towards Decon. Rallen gets dropped immediately and Snatchy falls to the AWP, and the defense has crumbled here on the lower side of the map. Player trying to come down the vent, but Afro's already posted, and Anonymo, it's not looking good for them in this first gun round. Even saving these guns would probably be a result. It's going to be 4 for Double Pony. Far from an ideal buy in the next one for Anonymo, and I won't lie, Scrib, I'm already getting a bit nervous. Anonymo not looking too good here on the CT side of Nuke thus far.
It is an insanely small sample size, but yeah, I think so. You've got to really question what's kind of transpired here. Very, very simple for Double Pony. Nothing too advanced at all. Innocent will manage to take out Exercise, but Kylar not as successful, unfortunately. So we'll see. I think there'll be one attempt at taking down Innocent by the looks of things. Player making their way towards Heaven, but nah, Jocko not even going to go for it. So one player saves. Probably just going to be a few upgraded pistols around that. Double Pony going to find 4 scot-free. And like I say, the way in which they've done it, they've really not had to dig deep to find this round at all. So Anonymo, problems arising very, very early into this first half.
Innocent then, the sole survivor. He's got the M4, a bit of a half buy around him, so clearly Innocent will be the man with the plan. We're looking towards him to be the point man for giving Anonymo at least any opportunity into this round. Early smokes going down from Double Pony on towards the cross. Body catches Innocent. An important frag. That's the M4 drops already. Bomb is towards the lobby. A lot of pressure coming out from Double Pony. That's another nice frag from Lucky. Exercise chiming in as well. This is looking really clean and composed so far. Just 2 remaining for Anonymo. Kylar's dropped. Snacks. Got to peek from behind Tetris. That's 5 alive for Double Pony. Plenty of money in the bank, and Anonymo, I'm again starting to get a little bit nervous. These gun rounds have got to start to come thick and fast if they want a good CT round.
I honestly think this was kind of, you know, part of the game plan for Double Pony, that it is like, right, we can take them on Ancient when they see that come through. We're pretty confident in our Inferno, but it is the Nuke that, like I kind of alluded to before getting into this map, they can solidly just fall back on, play their own game. Actually been saving an awful lot for this. You know, it looks way, way better on the T side in terms of the execution and the kind of mix-ups that they have. Some really cool nades that we've seen so far. Well, just the one, but you know what I mean. The rest of them have been pretty solid alongside it. So I think that eases the mind ever so slightly. We talk about the mental game quite a bit, especially myself. I'm a big fan of that aspect of competitive, you know, sports and video games and whatnot. And I think that Double Pony don't have much to worry about going into Nuke, and that looks like the energy that they are approaching this one with. You know, catching Snatchy with his pants down. Kill comes in. Well, upside. That's a little awkward for Roland. Maybe could have got a bit more if he found that first kill quickly, but of course, it does not go that way. So, It will be the 4 versus 2. Another save for Anonymo. And again, another round that really did not take an awful lot from Double Pony.
Yeah, indeed. And the word I like to use in this sort of scenario is traction. And what I mean by that is seemingly everything is falling apart for Anonymo. They're not getting any opening picks. They're losing all the jewels. And from there, it's just so hard to play out these rounds. It's hard to even know what's right and wrong about your setups because they're getting no traction, no footing in these rounds. And of course, the money for that T side as well is building up so quickly. The AWP can't be saved either from Snacks. That's a huge deal. The moment you know there's no AWP in place, there's so much more flexibility on those anti-eco and anti-force buy rounds. So 4 alive for Double Pony. Money is completely out of control here on the harder side, the T side of Nuke. Anonymo, they'll almost certainly be half buying here around the saved M4, but yeah, no surprises here. Anonymo timeout, they got a cooldown. Talk about the following gun round, and they need to make this at least 4 or 5 rounds to give themselves a shot going into the second half.
Yes, absolutely. I think this is starting to get very, very scary. You're on the final map. There is no sort of fallback of a next map coming up, that kind of thing. So, have to get the ball rolling. And we have seen throughout the day, although they did secure the second map on their T side, I would say it was their CT side that looked a bit more comprehensive. They just kind of let it slip a little bit towards the end. Ultimately, with the T side, a lot of it for me came down to the fact that they kept the economy of Double Pony under wraps, as is often the case, and as Double Pony is doing here to Anonymo. So, also leans into the map itself, as you are kind of talking about. I think with the changes to the A1S, Nuke definitely swings back towards the CT side for me. So many smokes, so many spam areas, etc. And Double Pony kind of proving me wrong. Innocent, sorry, going to be the first one to go down, and it will be a 5-on-4 pretty quickly. That's also the big man with the rifle picked off early.
Yes, indeed. And of course, the storyline I mentioned coming into this Nuke map was Snacks, his CT spot, which I believe he kind of plays the second man on the A-bomb site, I think. Kind of the door guy, you might say the squeaky player. And as of yet to get on the scoreboard is Snacks, nor is Kylar. Now, obviously, it looks like a kind of wider problem where the whole team is crumbling for the moment on Nuke. So maybe it's a little bit harsh to focus on the individuals, but yeah, I think it's an important storyline, especially when a lot of spots would have been changed up with this roster move, and maybe we're starting to see the hints. They haven't quite worked it out here just yet on Nuke. It's going to be 7 for Double Pony. Excise is taken down, but it's going to be 4 alive. Scriv, the money is not getting impacted at all on these eco and kind of half by rounds. And Anonymo, if they don't start getting rounds soon, this could be series over.
Yeah, looking very, very scary. And that storyline, unfortunately, has been kind of pushed from us since the first rifle round, really. And it's not gotten any better for Anonymo, so why would the story change? Zero, 1, and 7 for Snacks. 0, 1, and 6 for Kylar. Kylar especially is a worrying sign because he was pretty paramount on the first map to keeping them in it and relatively present on the second. Snacks going to get aggressive, though. Oh, and it does work out. Maybe a bit more proactivity. You talked about him, playing some awkward spots and whatnot. In this round, it looks like he's taking some initiative. It works beautifully. Kylar as well, also going to take some of his own. Great contact flash. Snatchy to find the kill, but it was there for Kylar. Afro will trade him back, but he's now got 4 more to find. Any damage is good here for him, though, and they are giving him a few too many 1v1s. 1 versus 2 looks way more doable for an AWP than a 1 versus 5, especially with how quickly all that comes in and how separated these 2 remaining Anonymo players are.
Nax alone on A. Still on top of the hut. Juggling those angles. Afro brought The 1-on-5 already back to a much more doable scenario. He's in towards Hut at the moment. He's slowly eking his way out. Auto director is not giving us the best experience. His Snack spots the arm. Ooh, it's getting a little bit nerve-wracking. The Snacks does find the frag. That's the first round for Anonymo, but I have to say for me, Scriv, 5 alive would have done wonders for their economy, and they got way too eager here, just peeking Afro, giving him an opportunities. It was some amazing shots, but they're really going to pay the price now if they lose this round and their money goes straight back into the bin. They are so far from out of dodge here. They've got to chain rounds together.
Something that we talk about quite a bit, actually, when it does occur. I think there was a couple times that it happened yesterday, actually. But when you're 7-1, yeah, you can't let it happen at all. It's even dangerous when you're kind of even and whatnot. Flash doesn't quite land there for Body. We'll reattempt, and much better the second time around. Either way, Anonymo not going for the aggression in this round. Not going to work twice in a row. However, Rarlan, inside smokes, does get one. Caught pretty quickly. The trade comes thick and fast. He's not able to get any more damage. So, not a bad response there from the T side.
One for then. Kyla in towards Deacon. Gonna get forced back. Not looking too shabby so far. Snatchy's rotated in, so looking much better than earlier on in the half. At the moment are Anonymo. Body peeking out a Squeaky with his teammate just behind Jocko. He has the bomb though. He's still on this lower bomb site. Blowing it out for the moment. Body and Lucky still working their way in, but Innocent on the off angle behind the silos. Let's find the first bomb site now in control of Double Pony, but they're losing numbers. The bomb plant is not good for main either. It's not good for Lucky. Over towards the silo. Snatcher coming in from ramp. Does drop Lucky, and now it's just Jocko in towards the bomb site. Looks like he's in front of Hut for the moment. He's up on Tetris now. Repositioning. And he gets the huge frag there on towards Kyla. He knows Snatchy's on the flank somewhere. Shots being traded. It's messy, but Snatchy finds the frag. An extremely important one-on-one, but these rounds are going so close, Scriv. It just feels like a matter of time until they lose and get put back on the pistols. And look at that team money. It's still far from reined in. So Anonymo, they're claiming rounds, but they're making a real meal of it. 2-7 is the scoreline.
Yeah, you have so many facets, I think, that we could go over here that's in favor of Double Pony. The fact that, yeah, they're keeping the economy low on that CT side with bringing just one player into the next round. You also have the fact that 7 rounds on the T side is pretty good already. Maybe forcing the issue a bit too much, trying to get lucky and quickly there. Doesn't work. He will get taken down, so another freebie for Anonymo to work with. Yeah, so we have our reservations about moves like that, but nonetheless, trying to trade things back, Body tag down to half. So the man advantage looking pretty good for Anonymo in the first 30 seconds.
Bit of a boost here. Coming out on ramp. And it works perfectly. Snatchy was posted up, but of course, he's not expecting the boost, and it pays dividends. Opening pick then on ramp goes the way of Double Pony, but Snacks and Rallen chiming in. 2 frags for Snacks. He's looking crisp, and you know, they've looked pretty decent the last couple of rounds of Anonymo. There's still money though in that T side, but a clean round is just what the doctor ordered. So for my money, it's still a long way back to being an even game here, but Anonymo at least showing some life, and no surprise to see the timeout being called.
Very true. Does indeed make a lot of sense for the Double Pony side of things. They can respect their opponents. They know how streaky this game has been. And when I say game, I suppose I should say match. But regardless, they're trying to keep it together, trying to retain their lead and not give the overconfidence and disrespect, you know, that they've shown a little bit so far to Anonymo. I think Previous round, they tried to go for something kind of crazy. Doesn't work. Their economy now is also being stretched thin. So a great time for a pause, in my opinion. We'll see whether they can find number 8 and keep Anonymo under wraps once again.
Early smoke coming out. Out of smokes. Double Pony only Matt's end, which is actually exercise, so ignore the HUD, I guess, on that front. Exercise towards outer. They actually popped in towards inner, and Snacks already going down. Rallen is going to drop exercise to make it a man advantage. Bomb is towards lower. Body is also down, but Kylar is fast down the vent. Body drops Rallen on the rotate. It's a very awkward exchange, but Kylar putting in work. Just Afro remaining. Got a good timing here in towards vent. And I'm confused myself. I thought that was Afro for a second. Now it's Afro down the vent. And Innocent knows exactly where he is. Domes his opponent. Amazingly, Double Pony still have money to buy. That's just an indication of how dominant the first few rounds were. And finally, we're seeing life from Anonymo, but yeah, they still need to make this 6, 7, maybe even 8 rounds, considering they're on the CT side of Nuke.
Well, Anonymo again finding the kind of energy out of nowhere. Really cool to see that they have had a good number of moments within this series of bringing things back and not letting the numbers at the top of the screen affect them. Something that we talk about quite a bit is, you know, the philosophy of competitive Counter-Strike. You just have to look at it round on round rather than the overall scoreline. And that seems to be something that they've done quite well, actually, from a mental standpoint. However, still in some pretty dark territory as a CT side Nuke team would be. And Double Pony, coming close. Battling back, just like that shot from the big man, Jocko. We'll see, though, bit of contact, bit of investigation. They're going to fake out A, actually, and rush in towards ramp. Rala nearly burning down to the Molotov. Kylar's been tagged. It's a nice fake-out play. It's worked in some sense. Kylar ready and waiting at the bottom side. Will be left on 1 HP as he finds 2. Traded out eventually. Body, meanwhile, chilling towards the top side. Tries to get the timing. Not quite there for him. Are we even going to get a bomb plant here for Double Pony? I don't think so. Lucky still down there. Bomb out in no man's land, and he knows Snatchy is around the corner. Trying to find the angle, can't get it done. And Anonymo, despite what looked like a decent enough half-buy kind of fake-out, they will keep it together. Yeah,
it was a nice idea, but ultimately, up against the rifles, unless you're hitting some amazing shots, it's always going to be a pretty tricky affair. 7 rounds still for Double Pony. 5 in a row for Anonymo, I believe we're at this point. So, certainly, a pretty streaky game thus far. And Snacks, he's really feeling it now. Opening pick for him. Kylar finds another. As in some spots. Out in the open, though, is Rallen. So, bring it back to a little bit more doable scenario, but losing his teammates left, right, and center. It's just Body left alone. He does have the bomb, or at least he will do soon enough once he collects it. But with Anonymo setting up like this, with Snacks pushing towards outer, surely there's no escaping the clutches here. Interesting. Snacks can't quite capitalize. The vent dive smoke comes down, as well as top hut molly. That could sell a little bit of misdirection here. The door is not open, so he gives up another noise cue. They know he was around Squeaky. Nobody committing lower just yet. They seem reasonably confident. The body is not dropped down. Snatchy, deagle in hand. Seems to know the HP bar. Pretty low. Kylar holding the cross. Perfect positioning. That's 6 in a row now for Anonymo. Really hauling themselves back into this half. And Double Pony. They've had a lot of buy rounds here in the last few rounds, but yet to find so much success of late. The Anonymo aggression seems to be working out perfectly in these latter stages of the first half.
It's kind of crazy, isn't it? It is kind of crazy how the turnaround has come in the fall off of Double Pony when they had so much money available. When you start to look at the rounds where they don't have said money, that's kind of fair enough. But we'll see. Early utility, of course. Creeping. Ooh, through the fire. That's very unfortunate for Snacks. Trying to catch, you know, in between the sprays. Miscalculates, and Afro, you know, not going for him there. Literally just spraying through. Gets very lucky indeed. Snatchy, meanwhile, speaking of, also gets a bit of luck. The back leg, and therefore the back side of Exercise found. But it's body above the smoke to trade him out. 4 on 3. Make it a 4 on 2. That's a hell of a find from Body, as it's left down to just Innocent and Kylar. Double Pony finally seem to have cracked it.
Innocent, though, going for the information play. Drops the first. There's nobody here to help Jocko. And he peeks out before his teammates had come out to help. The bomb is dropped in the open. The nades, of course, recovered as well. With smoke on towards Squeaky. That's allowed him to focus more on the lobby side. Kylar seems totally unaware. He could have been in towards the outer area and potentially handed an opportunity there for Anonymo, but they can't get it over the line. It's going to be 8 for Double Pony. Their first in 7 rounds. It was 6 in a row for Anonymo there. But they make it 8, just about. Early opening pick going their way, and Body doing a lot of work on towards outers. So, you know, Anonymo looks pretty good for the last few rounds, but we still got to kind of look at this with some perspective. They're still up against it. Double Pony still have managed to claw out 8 rounds on the T side and could even find 9 here. So Anonymo feels to me like 7 is still almost a necessity here.
Oh, Exercise with the great find in between the smokes. Maybe that was part of the idea, you know, to bait a player out into taking some aggressive angles or some wild sprays. Just about catching that kill. Kylar gets very lucky indeed, and they have kind of put the brakes on for a second, but they will indeed commit to the secret play. Meanwhile, Body holding for the flank.
Nobody's gone down, Squiv. Nobody's gone down. Look at the minimap.
Yeah,
they're all up there.
Chilling around and waiting, I suppose. The patience pays off, right? Body finds his kill.
Yeah, I mean, though, in terms of the CT rotates, they haven't reacted. They saw that players were down secret. The Lucky was holding the vent, so they couldn't rotate down, and Double Pony got so much position here on B. Got mollies to isolate off these angles. They can get the bomb plant, and Anonymo are going to be in for a little bit of a shock now. They're hearing all this noise on B, and of course, still having this lurker out here. Body, he can't get too much done, but he does buy a little bit of time here. So 3 on 3 it's going to be. Limited nades on that T site and smokes on CT, but where do you put them down? These jewels as they come out of the secret position could be all important. Flash comes out. Afro, he's towards single, he's towards the decon side. He's just crouched down for the moment. He can peek up, and a nice timing. It's a nice frag from Afro. That's going to alleviate a lot of pressure. Snacks, he's coming in from ramp. Exercise caught looking the wrong way. It's a 2 on 2 now. 1 in towards Dark. Isolated in the open is Afro. And now it's just Lucky. Mac 10 in hand. The bomb is so far ticked, though. Have they got it? Snacks is on the bomb. It's ticking down. I think he's got the defuse. Just about. Oh, that was down to the wire. It's going to be 7 rounds for Anonymo. They claw it back after looking so terrible at the start of the half. Stay tuned for the second half of Nuke. 35 map of this series after the break.
Got them watching from Paris to Poppy, yeah. With this music was lurking, now I'm attacking. Now with the chatting, I just step up and make it happen. It's a lifestyle. Living young and restless, yeah, we quite wild. If I want it, I'ma get it talking right now. And I ain't got no regrets, it's my time now. Lights out when you see us talking moves. You don't know that's the topic. And if you talking juice, well then you know I got it. Then you know I got it. Nobody got it like you know. They can try, but can do it like Vinny. Yeah, no permission. I got it.
All right, welcome back into half number 2 then of map number 3, of course, as Alan mentioned when we went across to that break. A proper break this time, so it was. And I'm sure the players will be happy for it. A bit of an intense couple of rounds to close out that first half. Double Pony slimly with the lead here, folks. Moving into the CT side, though. 8 rounds is quite a bit, to be honest with you, so we'll see. Indeed, if they can make it work. It's going to be an A-rush coming out from Anonymo. Nice little Molotov at the back end of the silo, but they are well ready for this on that CT side. Quick flank coming in, as well as the frags. Not a single kill for Anonymo, and nowhere even close, it felt like.
Yeah, indeed. And I know exactly where Double Pony stole that pistol from. I know exactly where they found that one. The Julie's up on towards Hut, doing work. And just too many players in attendance on the CT side on A there. And Double Pony, all important third and final map. They picked up both pistol rounds. They're going to convert both pistol rounds. There's no way. At least it'll be 1 in a million if Anonymo can win here on a full Glock eco. So should certainly expect him to get up to 10. And seems Afro and Lucky are well aware that Anonymo like to save on these second rounds out of the bomb plant. Julies and just a USP in play for those two, so good read on their front. Lucky somehow on the roof of lobby. What's going on here, Squibb? What's going on? Oh, it's complete madness. Have you ever seen anyone ever get a kill from there in your life? I didn't even know you could get underneath that bit.
I was just about to say, I don't think I've ever seen anyone like sit there, because I don't know what the point would be. But there you are. Maybe that is the point, the fact that it's such a hidden spot. Lets you get away with absolute murder. Good read here as well, by the way, to have a couple players stick on the pistols. Especially the likes of Afro. Lucky with his Julies. Afro will find himself a triple kill on the USP, as well as sticking to that USP and therefore having 6k coming into this first buy round. We will see the AKs out from Anonymo nice and early. Well read from Double Pony, like I say.
Yeah, I'm pretty stunned that Afro doesn't go for the AWP on this round. It kind of feels like kind of the whole reason that you'd risk the full eco essentially on the previous one to get the warp into play. Outer aggression. There's so many players here. All 5 for Anonymo in attendance. 3 players aggressively for Double Pony. One's gone down already. The bomb somehow has managed to cross, even though Afro and Body is still aggressive, and Body's getting in behind with that MP9. He's doing a lot of damage. Skylar goes down, and that felt like a very important round, kind of a bonus round for that CT side. They keep 2 alive, and Anonymo, again, just letting so many rounds slip in these early stages of the halves here on Nuke.
crazy fast. Crazy fast, considering that's your first rifle round and there's so much, you know, weight on it. Now we'll see the AWP out for Afro. Of course. Dropped across, actually, by one of the richer members. Didn't quite catch it, but all the same. Pretty wild. Pretty wild. Anonymo going to try with the half-buy here. Just the deagles in play. A lot of damage traded early, but nothing quite coming as yet. There it is, Jocko with the first, and he's now going to be a bit careful. There's a lot of bodies on the way. Support from the org, meanwhile, is here. Double kill for Exercise, and of course the AWP to back up. So just the one kill coming in for the side of Anonymo. Pretty clean stuff once again from Double Pony. Looking to set up in fairly good stead. A couple more rifle rounds, and the game is theirs.
Yeah, indeed. And the CT money's also looking pretty good right now. So even if they lose this round, assuming at least one gun saved over, it's not going to be an eco for Namo. 12-7 then. Certainly feels like we're getting into touching distance. Considering it's the CT side of Nuke. Like a pretty healthy lead just now. Just defaulting towards inner Anonymo. 4 in towards lobby. Ralen's gone for one of the outer cross smokes, but that's not going to achieve very much on its own, is it? Not going to cut off any angles, not going to fake out a cross in towards secrets, so we're not going to see too many rotates being forced. They are pulling numbers on towards outer, so a little bit of a reaction here from Double Pony, but nothing too extreme. Players loading up towards ramp. Jocko is out of position, actually. Finds the first, traded out by Snatchy. Players dropping to try and recover that lower bomb site. Bomb, though, is still in ramp as Anonymo put the brakes on.
Snacks inside the smoke here. Snatchy around that left-hand side. On the AWP. Certainly do see it on the T side of Nuke. But again, can limit you in ways, especially when he's only on 8 kills. So we'll see. Body in on the site. Trying to play in around the mini ramp, as it were. You know, a nice little off angle for him. And it looks set to work as they line up. That's disaster. Bomb down, fully confirmed. He will get traded, absolutely. But surely enough has been done by the big man. We've got Exercise ready in towards Decon. And the plant is just going to be open to it. You know, that's kind of a little cheeky from me for Snatchy. 8 seconds to get the bomb down here. Not going to happen. And again, in total disarray. As you so often say in situations like that, it is a Molotov and not a brick wall. Not even a smoke to deny vision away, you know? So, very, very greedy on it. But, of course, this was the play that made the difference.
Yeah, indeed. But even in terms of that bomb plant, it's pick your poison, really. You open to single door, you open to double door. What do you go for? And, of course, he got a little bit unlucky with the choice he chose to go for. Anonymo, then, you know, that bomb plant would have been absolutely massive scriv. Just in terms of the round itself, to try and make it a doable after plant, but also for the money, because now they're in a tough spot. It looks like they're not going to fully invest behind this one. Surely the timeout was to discuss such matters. A couple of smokes board up, but not so much else. Deagle on Ralen, that pretty much confirms the half buy is going to be coming out for Anonymo. Double Pony, double AWP in play now, so they're really upping the ante, switching up on the CT side. And yeah, Double Pony clawing themselves closer and closer to this series win.
Very, very scary. Anonymo, I think, will indeed milk as much time out of this as they possibly can. Get that little bit of a reset that we often talk about in terms of the momentum here. But it has been a game of absolute confusion, I think, on that Anonymo side of things. Well, maybe not a game, but the half felt very, very crazy to me so far. I think Double Pony, there's an argument to, again, say where you go up with those 7 rounds in the sense that there's so much confidence there that they give that swing back. And as we talked about on map 1, map 2 in a sense, Double Pony are kind of a team that I think can lean into that overconfidence from time to time, especially in a game like this where the stakes maybe don't feel as high to them. They let their, you know, free mentality lose some of the discipline, and it can come back to bite them. So just need to keep it together here, and I think this is where the stakes lift ever so slightly. You've won map 1, stakes of map 2 are a little less. So, like I say, you let that overarching freedom, overbearing freedom come in to play. But with map number 3, they need to keep it together. Anonymo, though, have capitalized even then on some of the overconfidence in the first half. But the second one, again, Double Pony are like up 7 rounds, like I say. I think in their minds, they're like, right, we should be able to win this game via our CT side now.
Yeah, indeed. And I guess the difference between this and earlier on in the series is that now Double Pony, they're on the CT side. They're on the much favoured side here on Nuke, and certainly, and rightfully so, we have criticised Anonymo thus far in this series. They're first with the lineup. On the T side, they've looked a little bit worse for wear. Not the best chemistry, let's put it that way. And yes, certainly, be down in rounds like this, staring down the barrel of going down to 7-14, half the round of their opponents, is a little bit scary, especially on the T side of Nuke. So hopefully we're not tech paused for all too much longer. It's actually been a reasonably okay series for tech issues, so I guess we were due a couple in the end, but hopefully it doesn't last all too long.
Okay, that's cool. That's what we like to hear in our ears there, Alan, mate. You know, of course, 90 seconds until we get back into game, folks. So thanks for bearing with. We've had less issues with the tech side of things than we did yesterday. If you were here, again, shout out to you, and I hope you're doing okay, because we were just sat, I think, 25 minutes late for map 1, about 20 minutes late for map 2, as well as some tech issues within the middle, player timing out in the middle of a round with like 8 seconds left with the bomb. Teammate had to make the decision, make the sacrifice, you know. They actually ended up losing that round, unfortunately, but it does happen. And here we are, Match Medic on the way. Does often mess around with the HUD. That'll be sorted as well, don't you worry. And in just a few moments, we should be back into the game.
Hopefully so. Guns being dropped around. It looks like they're just getting the coaches, I believe, back into spec. Looks like to be the case, so that's why they're keeling over at the moment. Hopefully, we're set to go live soon. Looks like Double Pony, with the round restart, still committing to the double AWP, Jocko and Afro. And thankfully, Scriv, it looks like the pause is over. We're back underway, as we mentioned a few times. Here on that T side. Pistols in play. Lucky, unfortunately, is a Double Pony player. He's not actually on the T side. He's having a couple issues with the overlay, but yeah, there's no M4 on that T side. It's just the pistols, but they have got a few nades, so if they can make good use of those, maybe there's an opportunity. Rallen, he's working around these smokes, trying to just fake out a little bit of pressure. Jocko towards the back of ramp. He's getting called upon now. The flash doesn't do so much work. He legs another. He's got a teammate in Afro. It's 2 AWPs, though, trying to fight this ramp area. If they can't connect, they're going to have big, big problems. AWP is dropped, Scriv. That's a big weapon for them to play with now.
Yeah, of course, a 4v4. We'll try and, you know, keep up as best we can. Big pickup coming through from Body. That is the AWP drops, of course. So very big pickup, actually. A real follow-up onto Snacks. Curious. There goes Innocent. Afro going to find his kill onto Rallen. And there you are, Lucky picking up Snatchy as well. So good stuff. They find the round. They will move themselves up to 14. Takes a second. You know, the HUD sorts itself after the round, right? So you just kind of have to bear with when there's all those changes going on. And thankfully, it comes in a round where you don't really expect too much, right? We get a crazy kill come through, but that's about it. 14-7. Victory on the horizon here for the Frenchman.
Afro had a very dynamic CT half so far. He's repositioned this round. He's playing from garage. I don't think he's been here just yet, but he's going to meet his match in Snatchy. Snatchy on the AWP as well. They trade shots. No connections just yet. Snatchy post up on the angle, and Afro, that's one peak too many. Overconfidence perhaps seeping in. Man disadvantage now for Double Pony. Looks like bodies readjust. They've given up ramp Scriv and they're going to play in towards outer instead. Body slowly working his way up through secret. He's actually smoked behind himself to try and juke out this T side. They might think that there's nobody on the tight left side. Will Ral and clear it. Now he's seen the smoke. He seems pretty aware that a play could be up, and that it's a perfect piece of game sense. And now pushing in behind it, they know there can't be any other CT players. It must have just been Body on his own. So that's going to be B bomb site in the hands of Anonymo, and I guess Double Pony might just immediately call to save. It's going to be 8 for Anonymo.
Makes sense. I think, indeed, they're, again, in prime position and probably in one of the better positions. Even, I don't know, after a 13-2 half on Ancient, it should have been a bit cleaner, but I think the best position they found themselves in there was the 14-8. That's kind of when they put a stop to the initial Anonymo run and probably should have ended the game off of it. This now goes to a 14-8, but with where we are in this very current second, and they are indeed in a good spot, so no need to force the issue. And that's kind of the mentality that I think they will take through. Maybe we see some aggression from them in the same way that we saw from Anonymo after losing a few rounds on that CT side. So we'll see, we'll see. There's a lot of approaches, and there is a good amount of cash available for the Frenchman.
Yes, indeed. We'll see if Jocko again is going to go for that AWP. Nope. He decides this time I'm going to play on the rifle. Give myself a little bit more versatility, flexibility. Of course, come the retakes. Can be a little bit of an issue if you've got 2 AWPs in play. So, Anonymo. Of course, previous gun round Snatch, he found that open. He pick on towards outer, and Body's already taking damage. The nade might just seal the deal. So again, Anonymo 5 on 4, finding entries in towards this yard and outer position. 4 players out here for Anonymo. It looks like they're going to work a little bit more control. But Double Pony, how do you react on the C side of Nuke? How do you get yourself back into this round?
The big question, of course, that always needs a fairly big answer. Maybe we'll see the hold down below be successful here on the stairs.
Look at the minimap.
Oh,
3 rotates.
So ready. The crossfire on the back stairs here as well. Great little flash over the top, but they might just tunnel forwards. Oh, they take one down from the side. Maybe need a couple here from Jocko. 3's nice. Snatchy does trade him out into the 2 versus 2 now. Exercise able to dip away, but he gets caught as Innocent will rush out onto the site way quicker than he was expecting. Snatchy with the leg, and they have just about done it. Despite Jocko's heroics, Anonymo will find number 9.
See what Afro chooses to do. It looks like it's just going to be the save, and yeah, Double Pony, they made the perfect read. They just decided we're man down. We know they're in towards secret. Let's just gamble numbers lower. And Jocko does so much work, and it just feels like, to be honest, if just one of his teammates found a soul frag, it would have taken so much pressure off, and maybe it all could have dominoed and cascaded from there. But anyway, Anonymo clawing their way bit by bit back into this second half of the final map. We're at 1 map apiece here, trading their map picks. We touted Nuke as a potential map pick option for Double Pony. They decided instead to leave it to the decider. That's where we are now. Double Pony still with a healthy lead. Lots of money in the bank. Afro can drop 2 guns over if he chooses to do so. Anonymo slowly but surely breaking this CT money, and it just feels like a matter of time till they force the ecos. Can they do it? Can they break that CT money and really make this a close game?
Gotta keep at it here, of course. I mean, the way the evening's gone, we've seen so many kind of streaky rounds. That is pretty much the perfect nade to begin it, though, for Double Pony. So, oh, some good potential off that damage. Kylar, though, going to be the first to find a kill. The dink does land. No kill for Jocko. He's sticking around. He's pretty confident. Finishes off one. Another is set up. So the 4 versus 4 hangs in the balance. Minute and 15 left on the clock. And Anonymo, they've put the brakes on. Different idea, maybe. But that has allowed Double Pony to encroach. To remain innocent and snatchy to essentially keep them in the game.
Coming up through heaven at the moment are the Polish players. There's nobody on A right now for Double Pony, so seems a bomb plant might be on the cards, but will they really expect Jocko to be this quick up through heaven? The plant is good for heaven. Jocko, I'm going to force the issue. Molly comes out, is a bit fluffed, seeing the player in the open. Snatchy peeks out from heaven. Jocko doing a lot of damage up that ladder from below heaven, and the trades come in. Snatchy 3 HP, Jocko dancing on the ladder. Double Pony secure 15 rounds here on the third and final map. There's a lot of money in the bank for Anonymo, so there'll be another buy to follow this one, but Frenchman so close, they can almost feel it.
Yeah, I think this one's probably looking like it's going to be over. Now that I've said that, of course. You know, touch some wood, etc. Either way, rush coming in from Anonymo. That looks to be the idea that they're going to go for. Try and get one down hut at the very... down vent, sorry, at the very least. Player in towards hut. Rotates back around to try and find a kill. Innocent comes very close. Doesn't get it as yet, but of course it is that one-man advantage. So really looking good here for Anonymo in round number 25.
Yeah, indeed. And Snacks, he's down the vent. He's on the lower bomb side. He can play absolute havoc with the CT side here. Jocko has rotated down, but he's got so many directions to cover on that lower bomb site. Clearing lobby, though. Our Double Pony got himself some nice information. Out of smoke starting to be thrown by Anonymo. And, oh, Exercise might catch them in the open. He gets the first. They know the smoke has just been thrown, so there has to be more in the vicinity. And Kylar, a very important frag. Snacks looks like he's come up the vent. He's actually fallen. Afro, he's on A. This round has become so chaotic. Bomb is now going down towards the lower bomb site. Scriv, and somehow we found ourselves in a very disjointed 2-on-2 here.
Yeah, the auto director, of course, sticking us on the wrong body, unfortunately. Jocko's going to find another kill on towards Snatchy, and now it's just Kylar with only 8 HP. Madness, absolute madness, and I believe the kill that Jocko found just prior is the bomb. Will be the kill onto Kylar, and will be the game. Unbelievable, unbelievable. They managed to win the round just like that, and of course they get the game alongside it. It looked like it was inevitable. Anonymous Nuke, not quite there, as predicted, of course. Mr. Alan Hender was correct again. Nonetheless, we'll be back with the breakdown in a few moments' time. See you soon.